You know, I'll stop. This is gonna be the last video I make. I've made this video 3 times. I keep on deleting it. I don't know why. But let me tell you something. I grew up in Nigeria. I grew up in Lagos precisely, the city of Lagos, Sulere precisely. Like I was an area boy. You can call me whatever you want to call me. I grew up in a lot of culture. I was exposed in a lot of like life term. My mom was a very educated woman. My dad was very, very educated too. You know, I had a hard time growing up as a child. You know, it wasn't because I didn't listen or I didn't grow up in a good neighborhood or grew up in a good family household. I did actually. The neighborhood I grew up wasn't the best. You know, I grew up in the hood. I'm not gonna lie. I grew up in Sulu. I grew up in the hood. Like I grew up in a city. If I grew up in a neighborhood that whenever it rains, the rain get in the house. You know, I'm talking about sheet water, all that shit. I grew up in a neighborhood that there was hardly like we had to use our generators. You know, so I grew up in a neighborhood that, you know, I won't complain. Like I can't complain. I won't say I missed childhood. Like I missed a lot of stuff from childhood. Childhood was childhood for me. I was able to go outside and play, even though I hardly play with a lot of kids and stuff. I was seen as an outcast, you know, because my mom was the one that was the breadwinner in the house. My dad was the breadwinner, but my dad wasn't really around because he had to go back home and go do his own thing, and my mom was always working. My mom was, you know how you see other women in the house sitting down, waiting for their husband to go get money for them, but my mom is the one working. You know, my mom has the driver taking her to work every day. She's living that man dream. That's my mom. That's the kind of person my mom was. So she wasn't really a great fan to a lot of women because she was a higher entity. You know, when a woman is really doing good and you look at yourself. So let me say this. I couldn't say this word then because I didn't know what the fuck this word was. A lot of women that was around my mom were very insecure. They were so insecure, bro. That's the word right there. They were so insecure. That's what happened. Period. Boom, like that. So it took me a long time for me to realize what my mom was talking about. My mom is always like, my mom is, she might be in 2007, but my mom mindset is in 2030. That's how my mom is. My mom sees the future. Like she sees stuff that people don't really see. My mom sees ahead, you know. So that's one thing I love about my mom, and she instilled that kind of spirit in me. So we might be stressing now, but we're not stressing for what's coming up next year. We're stressing for what's come up in the future. That's how my mom brought me up. So it took me a long time before I realized how this woman was planning her life. She planned her life, I'm talking about ahead of time and shit. And one thing I want to really bring out is like, at this age I am right now, I'm 28 years old. I've never had my dad tell me I'm proud of you. It's not only my dad, bro. Like, people around me that I grew up with, people that watched me grow up as a child, that I'm talking about disciplined me, told me to do this, told me to do that. I'm not what they expected for me to be. You know, like me growing up, I wanted to be a pilot. It can't stop. I could still go fucking learn how to fly a fucking plane and fly a plane. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my goals. I want to get a plane. I want to buy a plane. It might be a Cessna 172. It might be a Series jet. It might be a Honda jet, whatever. I might own a Gulfstream one day. You don't know what tomorrow is going to lie. That's why I say don't ever stress yourself because you don't know what tomorrow brings to you. So, at that case, it's like, you know, African is like, either you be a doctor or you be a pilot or you be a engineer. Like nobody care about what you got planned, bro. Oh, you want to be a musician? Fuck no, not in this neighborhood, not in this household. You want to be a what? A what? You want to be fella? You want to be what? Whiskey? You want to be Davido? You crazy? You can't do that. You can't do that in a household, in the African household. You can't do that shit, bro. They wouldn't let that shit happen, bro. Oh, you want to be a photographer? You want to do videos? Yeah, you want to take pictures of naked woman? Are you crazy? Hold on. You want to take pictures of naked woman? Are you crazy? So, bro, that's the household I grew up in. It was crazy, bro. So me doing what I'm doing right now, bro, is a blessing, bro, because I was discouraged all my life. I don't know how the fuck I started taking pictures, bro. Like for real, for real. That's how our household was, bro. So me, if I become a dad right now or a parent, I'm gonna support my kids, bro. You know, they're gonna be disciplined in the house because none of my kids gonna turn out to be none of these YNs out here, bro. Like my kids gonna be disciplined. I would love my kids to go back home to Africa too. I don't know. I want my kid to go back home to Africa, spend like a little 2, 3 years over there, learn new stuff, learn your father culture, and come back and tell me thank you. I don't know. My kids got to go back to Africa. So my conclusion to this is like, you know, a lot of people been through a lot of shit. A lot of people been through a lot of like stigma, a lot of abuse in the household. I'm not saying a lot of people, I'm saying myself. I've been through abuse, I've been through neglection, I've been through a lot of shit, hardship, doubtfulness, all this stuff. All this stuff I went through made me who I am right now, made me a man. I'm not saying that's the best thing for you to, that's the best trauma for you to give your kids. No, it's not. I had to fight it. I had to fight my battles myself. I had to discover the way out myself. And have I even discovered the way out yet? No, I'm still on my way. So that's really what I want to talk about. This is like a weekly therapy I really want to do and tell myself. And me, whenever I talk about this, whenever I say this, I want to find a solution to make my life more better and me coexist in my own mental faculty. That's it. Thank you guys.